Bende Federal Constituency. I am from Abia State. Arise.
From the hallowed chambers, his voice resonates crystal clear.
You say you shared money recently, and I represent the constituency, and there are 360 of us, and all of them are saying we are not feeling the impact.
He's the unmistaken voice of Undi Bende and the image maker of the House of Representatives.
Swept away houses and roads in communities like Mpa, Umi.
Yes, indeed, it is the second edition of the program for a new month. Of course, it is still the month of March 2022. The weekly engagement of Representative Benjamin Kalu with the good people of Abia State, especially Bende Federal Constituency. We call it Ben Kalu's mandate, bridging the gap between the parliament. Of course, it is on Flow 94.9 FM, both on the terrestrial and digital platforms. You're welcome. My name is Michael Oni. Our regular guest, Representative Benjamin Kalu, a member of the House of Representatives in the 9th Nigeria National Assembly, representing Bende Federal Constituency, is joining us virtually today. He's currently the spokesperson of the House of Representatives and chairman of the House Committee on Media and Public Affairs. Glad to have you join us. Welcome to another edition of Ben Kalu's mandate.
Thank you very much, Michael. And the people of Bende, Abia, and Nigerians, always a pleasure to be here. May I start by wishing every woman, from my family to my community, to my local governments, to my states, to Nigeria and the world over, a happy International Women's Day. This is a day set apart to celebrate the work of women and the strength of women, the love of women, the support of women, the capacity of women, the power of women, the grace of women, the kindness of women. And we wish you all the best. We promise you we're going to support you in every of your endeavor to achieve your God-ordained dreams. And today, because it's a beautiful day, a special day, the National Assembly is going to look at issues affecting women again today.
Oh,
that's a promise.
That's great.
I'll leave it at that. Let's go ahead.
Okay. I'm still going to take you back to that later on this morning on the program. So let's move on to some issues that we have today. We are going to dwell so much on the constitutional amendment. As we know, nations' constitutional fundamental aspects of their political processes and their democratic existence. This is because constitutions are products of a nation's socio-political development. While there are no perfect constitutions, there are only those that bend and blend. But I remember that the lawmakers in the 9th Nigerian National Assembly in their legislative agenda promised to give Nigerians what it described as the People's Constitution. The Speaker of the House, Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila, was of the opinion that the 1999 Constitution failed to address some critical national questions confronting the country. But let's look at how you feel with the progress made so far on the constitutional amendment, this important democratic process by the lawmakers, especially with the public perception that the 9th Nigerian National Assembly is rubber stamp.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Michael. I agree with the speaker, and I'm sure most of the listeners also agree with the position of there has been this groundswell's critical voice that what the Constitution alleges in its preamble, which says we, the people of Nigeria, having that. which issues legitimacy to that constitution, has been a subject of various debates. Debate has always been that the people element of that constitution that is being projected by the constitution remains a lie. They say so because the public participation, the drafting of the constitution was not all-inclusive, all-involving. Seeing the circumstances surrounding the emergence of that particular constitution coming from the military era. And so what this parliament, the Ninth Assembly, has been interested in is to see a way of reintroducing the spirit of the people into the constitution, because that is the only way the ground norm will actually be a norm that all of us will gladly conform to. Many people are complaining that the source of their deviant behavior, lack of loyalty, and encouragement for separation, lack of cohesion, has been that the people element in that constitution was not addressed. So we, in our efforts, have engaged the public thoroughly through public hearing, through various other engagements, to harvest the opinion of the people.
I can hear you. All right, it is still Ben Kalu's mandate.
The desire of the people. Can you hear me, Mike?
Yes, I can hear you. Please go on. Continue.
Hello, Mike. Can you hear me?
Please continue. I can hear you loud and clear.
I think I lost him.
Yes, indeed, it is still the weekly engagement of Representative Benjamin Okezie Kalu with the good people of Abia State, especially Bende Federal Constituency. And of course, like I told you, we will dwell so much. Of course, we will. A major discussion today will be on the constitutional amendment. It's an ongoing process, which the members of the National Assembly, both chambers, voted on 68 important bills last week. That was on Tuesday, on a Tuesday like this. 59 recommendations were voted for, while about 8 were voted against. Among them, the major, the gender bill, about 4 of the bills were voted against by the members. But it seems we lost connection. We're trying to reach out to Representative Benjamin Okezie Kalu, who has been speaking to us, especially as today is the International Women's Day, and also the important process that is ongoing by the lawmakers. Stay tuned even as we try and reconnect with him. Yes, apologies for that mix-up there due to network connection. I think we can go on now. It is still Ben Kalu's mandate, the weekly engagement of Representative Benjamin Okezie Kalu with the good people of Abia State, especially Ben, the federal constituency that he represents. So we're back. You were talking about the constitutional amendment, how important it is to this present National Assembly before we lost connection.
Briefly speaking, Michael, I'm hearing echo on the line.
Okay, yes, we can go on now.
It's just coming back to me. All right, so briefly speaking, we decided to bring the people back to the center stage by making sure that we harvest most of the desires of the people and to have it incorporated into this amendment. This happened to be one of the deepest, well-detailed amendments, 68 clauses. Since 1999, there has not been any time it went this deep. And a point must be made that the Constitutional Conference report was also instrumental in drafting this review that has been presented to the House. So you will see amendment touching various angles: judicial reform, electoral reform with independent candidacy, judicial reform, which is unifying the retirement age of the judiciary between the state and the federal government judges. I was actually in the forefront of that. I was a co-sponsor of that particular bill. And also you see things like unbundling things that appear on the exclusive list, making them to appear on the concurrent list to enable the states have a say there. You will see things like the generation of power, distribution of power, for states under the national grid, and which is actually equipping Dr. Kezi Paso's work with Professor Naji on the geometrics that is happening in Aba. A good example for most states to copy from. With what they are doing in Aba, power will be generated and distributed, and it will stimulate the economy there. And the purpose of unbundling these things is to allow the development of the sub-nationals, the regions to spring up. So aviation as well, the aspect that has to do with the establishment of airports to enable the various states who may not have the sufficient money to enter into a PPP, public-private partnership, and have the construction of some of those facilities, infrastructures achieved, including the geometrics we're talking about. It's a PPP there that is happening. And I heard that Imo State is trying to do something like that with power generation as well. They've been stimulated, they've been motivated by this passage of, this legislative intervention on allowing the states to do generation of power and distribution. So they're using what they call the balloon technology. So you're going to see such kind of steps taken by various states, and who benefits at the end? The common man, you and I, who benefit from this intervention. You will see things like the railway line. Just imagine having an economic, a regional economic integration policy by the 5 states in the Southeast, where they will come and agree that we are opening a pause where we all will put in funds and have the bank guarantee the investors from overseas to come and do a network of rail lines that will run from Abia to Imo to Ebonyi to Anambra to Enugu, connecting the people. And transportation is key in development. And if you link these states together through a special fund contributed to by these 5 states and having an investor come in and guaranteed by the bank,
goods will move speedily, and services will move also speedily. That will increase the income per capita of the people there. The GDP of the people there, of the states there, will go up, and that is a fact. So if that happens in various regions of the state, you begin to see regional development springing up. That's why we actually ask for this. And you look at prison congestion, you will recall that I moved a bill, I sponsored a bill for the prisons to leave the exclusive list and go to the concurrent list. And many people were like, are you sure? I'm sure I was on this program and I discussed it. And
yes.
I'm happy the whole Nigerians agree that it's one of the steps towards decongesting the federal prisons. Just like we have overseas, you have the minor offenses and you have the major offenses going to the federal prisons. Minor offenses should be taken care of by the state.
Just a moment before you delve into some of the specifics of this amendment process. Let's look at them one after the other. Time will permit. Especially as it has gotten a boost by this National Assembly. The lawmakers voted in support of 59. National Assembly. The lawmakers voted in support of 59 out of 68. Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, the lawmakers voted in support. Of 59 out of the 68 amendments and turned down 9 proposals. But the questions begging answer now is: will the 59 recommendations of the National Assembly on the review of the 1999 Constitution see the light of the day, or will the proposals go the way of several others that we've seen in the past, not this Assembly anyway? The National Assembly passed the better for amending the 1999 Constitution to the Houses of Assembly, but can the states muster the required majority to replicate what the federal lawmakers have done, given the volume and the nature of some of these bills, especially the local government financial autonomy?
Yeah, I know that this is a little bit different from what we have done with the PIB and Electoral Act Amendment Bill, Deep Offshore Act, as well as the Police Amendment and Police Act Amendment Bill. Most people never believed that the PIB would become PIA. We are pessimistic about it, but we are optimistic that Mr. President will assent to it. The same thing with the Electoral Act Amendment Bill. Many people thought Mr. President was going to trash it. They made references to previous experiences. But we are optimistic, and today we have a new Electoral Act 2022. That optimism is still here with us, and I can assure Nigerians that this journey of 1,000 steps that was started with this step is actually going to get us to the destination at the right time. Your question is whether this will see the light of the day. The process of making law is that we will do this at this level, do harmonization between the two chambers, and then communicate a single document to the 35 states of the Federation, for the Houses of Assembly to look into it. The speakers of the Houses of Assembly that we have today are not like most that we have always had. They are educated, they are informed, they are refined, they know what they want. Are they going to say no to financial autonomy, which will aid them to make laws that will make their state move forward? That will be shooting themselves on their foot. Are they going to say no to judicial autonomy so that the judiciary will have their independent fund so as to do justice according to law without fear or favor, affection or ill will? Why would they be saying no to the autonomy of the local government, which will help the state to, reduce the burden on the governor and have the trickles of development happen at the grassroots level? To do so will be a disservice to the people of the state where they are, and posterity will hold them responsible because the world is watching. If it's in your time as a speaker, a particular bill for an amendment that's supposed to make the advancement of our democracy leave the place where it is to the next level, and you failed in that duty, it's not the governor that will be held responsible. It will be you. If you enter into history as one of the speakers that said no to the advancement of our democracy. The excuse that, the governor is the one who pays the piper, he must dictate the tone, will not hold water because we are trying to remove the payer of the piper.
Okay.
So that he will not be dictating the tune. So that you have your own, you be your own piper, you dictate your own tune for the advancement of our democracy. That is how it's done all over the world, and that is why we want it to be done. Because if you use, for example, local government that is entitled to about 20.6% of the revenue, if you utilize 20.6% in your local government, somebody like me, if I sit in the local government as a local government chairman and you give me 20.6 every month of allocation, I will turn Bende into a small London. That's the truth. And I'm sure there are so many people who will do that in their various local governments where they come from. And the burden of the governor will be reduced. Governor will still be making whatever he's supposed to make, will still be achieving what he wants to achieve. But nobody will come and be holding the governor responsible and calling the governor bad name. And nobody will say the governor, you are building north, you're not servicing south, you're servicing south, you're not servicing central. You will now hold your local government chairman responsible because what the governor has is about 27% as a governor, and the local government and 27% is for the whole state. And you as a local government local government chairman, you have access to 20.6%. So why should people run to governor? So it's a win-win for everyone, and it should be seen like that. And if you, for example, say no to the judicial autonomy, and then you run to them tomorrow for justice, they will also deny you justice because this is fair, this is equitable. That the three arms of government remain independent of each other, so that the checks and balances principle of separation of power will be held to the optimal level, as expected by the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And so I expect as lawmakers at the state level that they do justice to that document. And I am very impressed with them because we've been in contact with them.
Okay.
3 weeks ago, there was an engagement between all the speakers and the Constitutional Review Committee. And it was a wonderful, robust discussion. And their mindset is in sync with the mindset of the House of Representatives. So I can assure you that we belong to a generation that want to bring the change to Nigeria, irrespective of political party platform. And I'm sure we're going to win. It's a winning for all.
All right, in case you just joined us, it is Ben Kalu's mandate, the weekly engagement of Representative Benjamin Okezie Kalu with the good people of Abia State, especially Ben, the federal constituency that he represents at the National Assembly. Of course, he speaks for the House of Representatives. We've been talking about the constitutional amendment exercise, of course, the voting process on 68 of those bills that were voted on by the lawmakers last week. It was this time last week on this program. He was very busy, but he still found time to talk to us on the program. So still talking about the constitutional amendment, Representative Benjamin Kalu, let us talk about the pro-equality bills that refused to get the nod of the majority lawmakers, even as the now politically conscious women in Nigeria are currently hurting over the rejection of the bills that sought to increase their participation in politics. The question is very timely, as today is the International Women's Day, as you also recognize that, with the theme Gender Equality Today for a Sustainable Tomorrow, with the hashtag Break the Bias, and the global community today beams the unprecedented searchlight on biases women face in cause of building the nation. Now, the bills on the creation of extra legislative seats for women, 20% quota for women, 35% affirmative action in political parties administration, transfer of women's citizenship, and the expansion of indigenship law, they were rejected by the lawmakers. Now the question here is, what and who failed Nigerian women? Representative Benjamin Kalu.
Yeah, thank you very much. Once again, I want to say Happy Women's Day to all the women who have tuned in, who may not have been listening at the time. I wish you the best. This very beautiful day that will celebrate your strength and your love and your support. Yeah, I agree with you that they need to have more women inclusiveness in governance. It cannot be overemphasized. And in global rating of those who are striving towards achieving the expectations of the Sustainable Development Goals of the United Nations, it is one of the indicators that is look at how far we have fared in incorporating women in governance. And yes, we have, as an emerging democracy, you cannot jettison your history. You cannot also ignore some sentiments which could be religious sentiments as well as cultural sentiments with regards to this inclusive agenda for women. If we ignore them and pretend as if they don't exist, we'll be living in a fool's paradise. We'll be telling ourselves lies. We are of a culture that has found it very difficult over the years to incorporate the strengths, the capacity, the leadership skill of women, even from the family level to the community level. You ask yourself, how many women are holding traditional leadership position in our various rural areas? Because our culture has created this inequality. It will take socialization, enculturation to begin to adjust our positions from what it has been, which may not be the best, to what it ought to be, which will make us equal in the eyes of our peers. So it may not be automatic and beyond cultural position. Look at our religions. We are predominantly Christians. We are predominantly Muslims. If you go even traditional African belief, if you go to all of them, you see that the position of women has not been that of prominence as against the men folks. Yeah, many have conquered this. Many have gone beyond this line of thinking. We are still battling with it. So it takes more advocacy to get more buy-in by various stakeholders from the rural areas, from the communities, to those who send these parliamentarians into the parliament, to buy into the fact that, listen, these women are no threats if they are in power. And this is how we want you to vote, because no legislator votes on his own whims and caprices. He votes based on the mandate of the electorate. That is what representation is all about. So if you focus your lawmen at the National Assembly and you don't extend it to galvanize support from those who have sent the members of National Assembly, like me, I don't see myself as the ruler of Bende because I'm in the National Assembly, or the king of overall king of Bende because I'm a national. No, I have kings, I have leaders. Even though I'm in the House of Rep, I have people I bow down to.
And those people are the ones who control our thought. They are in business as leaders. They are in faith-based organization as leaders. They are in our traditional sector as my kings. So their opinion matters to me when they call and say, my brother, this is how we want it to go. My son, this is how we want it to do. That's what we are thinking. Mm-hmm. Even in the professional circle, there are people who have, reached a particular level. These are called stakeholders. What they think matters a lot beyond what the representative thinks. But having said that, there are certain clauses in that constitutional review that ought not to have failed. There is no reason for it to fail. To be honest, I don't see any threat to anybody in the expansion of our citizenship. So that the young ladies that we give birth to, when foreign husbands come and marry them, they will qualify for citizenship. What threat is that to us as men? That is not even women bill, so to say. It should be the bill for everybody, because all of us give birth to men and women. So if my son marries outside the country and the young lady comes here, after some time she becomes a citizen. But if my daughter marries a foreigner and they come to live here, after a while he will not become a citizen. Why? Whereas Nigerians who are outside the country are becoming citizens by their wives, by marrying to their wives. So many of them are in America. Some are listening to this conversation because your program is viewed all over the world. Some of them are in America enjoying the fact that they married an American. And that's why they're American. So why should we say no to this kind of deal? So this is one of them that some of us frown at. Another one that was also an issue that does not cause any threat is the issue of expansion of the indigenship. So my daughter is married to Akwa Ibom, and she's a judge. And when it's time for her to become a chief judge, they said, no, you cannot become a chief judge because you're not an indigene. The same applies to your daughter. When she's married to, you're from Yoruba, and your daughter is married to an Igbo man. And when it's time for your daughter to become a speaker of the House of Representatives in Abia, they say, no, you're not an indigene. So, as we are an emerging society, a point will come when we begin to strip all these tax away from us and begin to unify and universalize citizenship. Because we say the whole globe is becoming a small community. So why are we keeping our partitions? Why are we drawing the parameters? So that is another bill that didn't go down well with people like us. That indigenship, so that our daughters who are married outside in Anambra, in Imo, in Ebonyi, in Enugu, in Lagos or Sokoto, that they can run for elections there. They become indigene after 5 years. So I don't see any problem with that. And another one I didn't see any problem with is also the issue of affirmative actions for the ladies in their political parties. Although, for me, I thought it's something that the party internally ought to have drawn a document that will encourage that in-house. It doesn't have to be part of the Constitution. The political parties could draw up a document and say, our political party administration, we will leave so percentage, 35% affirmative for women, which means maybe 7 women in a crowd of 24. I don't think that would be a threat. But if we must put it in the Constitution, then I also don't see it as a threat. But for me, I would have suggested that since it's political party related, let's allow the political parties run the administration the way they deem fit, and they should incorporate it, because there are women in all these political parties. They should go the same way they are agitating for the Constitution review. Should be the same way in their various political parties. They go there and mandate the political party through their women leader to say, give us more.
Let me ask a personal question here. Did you vote in favor of those bills?
Yes. Let me round up.
Oh, okay.
I voted in favor of the
the women getting 20% of appointments at the federal level as ministers and commissioners. I voted in favor of that. The other ones were very dusty in the explanation that was given. But having gone through it after that voting, we are one of those that have supported the women and said, listen, we have to revisit some of these things. But the one that is a bit, not acceptable to me is the issue of special seat. To make a special seat only for women, that infringes on Section 42 of the Constitution, which is that laws should not be sexist in discrimination. That's the discriminatory clause or provision of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So if you do that in that amendment, you have to amend Section 42 of the Constitution.
Okay.
And if you amend Section 42 of the Constitution, it will affect most things in the Constitution that has always preached non-sexist, non-religious, non-this, non-that, non-that. Because you're making a law now for a particular gender. Whereas the other ones is, equality. But you're now creating a particular office in the federation, in the parliament, only for women. That I don't see it going down. But you see the other ones I mentioned, we are part of the caucus fighting in the parliament to have a revisit. And I am believing something will be productive today as we sit in the next coming minutes.
Oh, fantastic.
I am believing something will come up today as we sit, to look at what we have done.
So are you saying it is not yet bye-bye for those bills?
I don't think so. Since we have not communicated to the state, it's not yet bye-bye. What we are communicating to the state is 2/3 of our agreement. So once we are done, we'll communicate. And no law says that if you are done today, you cannot look at what you have done and see if the House wants to do it again. Because the law says that we regulate ourselves. We are a self-regulating arm of government. We can revisit anything we want to revisit for the interest of the progress of our democracy. And I believe firmly, as a spokesperson of the House, that this is one of those issues that need to be revisited. And I think the leadership of the House, they are in sync. But we'll see as things play out today. And let's see how we take steps. See how we give the sense of belonging to our women, because our wives have not allowed us to sleep. And that's the truth.
All right. We need to quickly take a break now. When we return, we're going to continue the conversation, and when we return, we talk Bende, and also your bill scaled through. We want to ask you how you feel about this. I'm talking about that bill on prisons. It is Ben Kalu's mandate, the weekly engagement of Representative Benjamin Okeze Kalu with the good people of Abia State, especially Bende Federal Constituency. We take a break now. When we return, we continue the conversation. Stay tuned. The unmistaken voice of Undi Bende and the image maker of the House of Representatives, Ben Kalu's mandate, gains of quality representation. He's a committed, courageous, articulate, and deeply impassioned lawmaker with the plight of his constituents. Ben Kalu's mandate, gains of quality representation. From the hallowed chambers, his voice resonates crystal clear. Ben Kalu's mandate, gains of quality representation. He's the unmistaken voice of Undi Bende and the image maker of the House of Representatives. Ben Kalu's mandate, gains of quality representation. All right, thank you very much for staying tuned. It is still Ben Kalu's mandate, the weekly engagement of Representative Benjamin Okeze Kalu with the good people of Abia State, especially Ben, the federal constituency. We've talked so much about the constitutional amendment today, of course. He speaks for the House of Representatives, the lower chamber of the National Assembly. We looked at how important this process is for the lawmakers, and also looking at the financial autonomy, some of the specifics of the amendment. It's an ongoing process, even as he revealed that the lawmakers will be looking at the agitation of the women again today during the plenary. So let's move on to some other issues. Representative Benjamin Okeze Kalu has been speaking to us virtually. So still talking about the far-reaching constitutional amendment bills. The House removed railway, like you mentioned, the airport, and also the prison, the one you sponsored, from the exclusive list and placed them on the concurrent list. I'm so particular about this, and because you sponsored this, moving prison from the exclusive list and putting it in the concurrent list, meaning the prisons will be run by various state governments. How do you feel about this, and how will this bill help prison administration in Nigeria? Yes, you're correct.
ABN is at it again. It's time for the real visible and political leadership project.
And made recommendation on what ought to be done. And it was accepted by the whole federation. It's a thing to be happy about. It's a trophy for then the federal constituency. It's a trophy for Abia State. I say so because just like the governor always say, I'm not representing them alone, I'm representing Abia State government, and I proudly wear that tag that he gave to me. So this is a beautiful thing, you know. What is it's going to do for us is that the nation has been performing so poorly with regards to prison management or correctional services real implementation as allowed by international best practices. And the congestion has been much. It has led to loss of lives severally. And that somebody got in prison does not mean that the person is no longer a human being, and that the person is not entitled to his rights, you know, as a human being. He may not be free to move around, but there are some innate rights that he's supposed to enjoy. The current system is not delivering on those expectations, and that is why reshaping the legal framework around that was actually needful, and I'm happy we embrace it, because federal offenses will go to federal prisons. Leaving space for people to enjoy the correctional facility. Then minor offenses, state offenses will go to state prisons. That will give us opportunity to draw up programs that will help us to reform our people in line with our values. Because when you are reforming, and you are reforming with a general, value that is not tailored to the needs of the people from that area, how we behave is not the same way people in the north or the southwest behaves. There are values. So from correcting them, you reform them not to be deviant to our values, but to be a conformer to the norms, so that by the time they leave the four walls of the prison, they are contributing to the advancement of the values of the society where they are going to live in. And it's also going to help us use that platform to equip them with skills. We are known as
people who are good with handwork. In that correctional facilities, leather works can take place, shoe making can take place, bag making can take place, tailoring can take place. What is produced in those facilities will become an income generating point for the state in their internally generated revenue. By the way it is being haphazardly handled now, the state is not benefiting anything from the prisons that is cited in our state, belonging to federal government. What is our benefit? So by putting it in the concurrent, it becomes another IGR source for the state, if properly managed. And there are so many partners that can work with us in making sure that, skills are delivered, at a reduced rate, impact is made. Development agencies will partner with the state, to make sure that the values of international best practices in reforming people in the various correctional service centers will be applied. So it's a good news for us, and I'm happy about it because before I think around 1963 or thereabout, before we got to where we are, prisons were at the regional levels, before they now went to the central. So we're a bit going back to that, which will make us stimulate our economy, whether you like it or not. Those prisons will add value if well managed. And citing it wherever it's cited, there will be value addition also in those areas. So,
all right, let's talk now. Some new projects which you are facilitating recently commenced in your constituency. Can you bring your constituents up to speed on that before we throw the lines open?
I think the media team has been going around taking pictures of what we are doing and updating my stakeholders and my constituents from time to time. Let me tell you this story. There was a lady, she's a lawyer, I don't want to mention her name. She's from Bender Federal Constituency. Once she called me and said, you know what? I just passed through this road now. The road is so bad. Isn't there anything you can do about it? And I also went there the other day, something is happening there. What are you doing about it? I said, Madam, we are working on, we are trying our best to. And she said, but you're not telling people what you're doing. I said, Madam, I don't want to be shouting every time about it. She said, no, politics, you must announce yourself and what you're doing. I said, Madam, I don't want, she said, you must announce what you're doing. And I said, okay, no worries. We're going to let people know what we're doing. And it was from that day, I stopped this being too quiet about what we are doing. I said, we will use every platform to educate people like her, who are the stakeholders who want to know, who may not have the time to visit all the places that she visited that time. There are those of our stakeholders who are overseas. Our stakeholders that are scattered all around the world. Like I mentioned last time, the people in Item who are living in America, they were inviting me to come. They want to come and engage with me. Same for people of Ozita and Ozuakoli. So all over the world, they are monitoring what we are doing. And how would they know it if we don't tell them? The Bible says, write your vision, publish it so that anyone who sees it might run along with it. So what we are doing now is that we have young men who just left school. They go around, monitor our project. They bring feedback to the constituency office. And then they educate, they belong to various platforms. They educate the people and say, this is how far we have gone with health. This is how far we have gone with education. This is how far we have gone with power. This is how far we have gone with road infrastructure. This is how far we have gone with this and that and empowerment and all the rest of it. But for me, it has been working because it reduces my job of having to answer to every call on what we are doing. And they produce, my media department is very effective. They have e-copy of all the documents that we do. They put it in a website. They put it in a link that if you doubt, they'll just send you one line of link. You open that link, you see everything we are doing. So that has reduced my job. But coming to your question with regards to bringing these people up to speed, we are doing that. And I will also use this platform also to keep emphasizing on that. As we speak now, we have interacted with FEMA from Umuahia. If you are coming from Umuahia to Bend, where the military used to stay, from there all the way to Oninyang Bridge is being taken care of now, palliative measures by FEMA. It was our handwork. If you go beyond Oninyang, you know that we had also influenced the palliative, repairs on that axis up to the central school. And as we speak now from the local government headquarters, going about 1 kilometer as if you are going to Abam, because we are trying to hit the road where you can, take a left to Umuhu, which belongs to Bende, because we are trying to do that road there. Work is going on there. In fact, they are asphalt as we speak. And if you go right into the road going to Itumbozo, you will recall that Dr. Kalu had done from that Bendo road up to a point, and I took over from that point up to another point, passing the school, the seminary school there. And now I brought another intervention with Ministry of Housing to go from that place across a ditch. There's a place that has always been bad. They are circulating the pictures as well. They carry their motorbikes on their head to cross there. When it rains, no car passes them. As we speak now, we are fixing that. And then that will take it to another, about 1 kilometer. Then I brought back FEMA to take from where this Ministry of Works and Housing will stop to push it again, because I'm pushing for us to enter into Itumbuzo and then push until we join Ntalako. But it will not happen in a day. It's gradually. So as we speak now, these works are going on. Abam Road, then the Abam Road is going on. Omahia, then the road is going on. Etitulo, Itumbuzo Road is going on. The second phase of Itumbuzo Road is going on as we speak. Now, the road from in Alai, 1 kilometer road within Alai, is currently going on. I just got information they are almost through with their drainages. Very soon they will start, putting their laterite and all the things that will make the road, because we are really chasing to make sure we finish it in this March. That is going on. And as you are aware, we have done Operenyi Road to a point. I am going back to Operenyi Road again. As you are aware, we have done Dokuruku Road up to a point. We are going back to Dokuruku Road again. We've done Abomiri Road because the Open University said the school must have a road. We have done that up to the school. We have also, I'm talking, when I say done, we mean asphalted. Asphalted. We have finished the road, done the asphalt with the drainages where necessary. We have also done Uwore Abomiri Road. So these are the interventions we are doing with regards to road. When it comes to school, the Itumbuzo Ndiwo school is ready. About 5 rooms. You see the picture circulating. Ugweke Amokai school is ready. Part of the things are commissioned. Community High School, Item, is ready. There's another school in Amegu, Item, is ready. There's another one at there's another part of Item. I'm trying to remember. Apango. There's another place at Apango. That one is also ready. It's one of the biggest. It's also ready. All these are in Item. The borehole in Alai is functioning, ready for commissioning. The borehole in Ozitem is functioning, ready for commissioning. Ozitem has another block of classroom going on as we speak now, which will be ready also before the end of March. The borehole that they were doing in Umuhu that failed, I've asked them to go back. They are working, and they'll be ready soon. Ibere borehole is ready. They are just putting the discharging point now. Also, if you go to Ibere, there's another school that I have done that is also ready for commissioning. That would make it 2 schools in Ibere ready for commissioning. Mind you, we're also working on the biggest civic center that they have there. We're working on Uchebri Hall. So I can go on and on. The health center at Talako is ready. It's one of the biggest health centers. It's ready for commissioning. And that reminds me also, I'm coming back to it with a big health center. It has been approved. I'm waiting for the funding. We might start this end of March because it really voted for me, and I'm not blinking in giving them dividends of democracy. And that reminds me also, there's another road coming to Item, which is going to start soon. It has been approved, waiting for funding. There's a road coming to Ozuakoli and Ozite. It has been approved. It's waiting for funding. And I'm talking about the funding will come within this month of March. So we are not sitting idle here, sleeping. We are working hard. And let me also remind the people, we have another substation that have been approved and is ready. The award letter might be out by today, in fact, this week. Very soon the contractors will come and the work will start. We have another project coming to Uzuakole, which is going to be a big community center that is going to cost a whole lot of money. If you come to Ben, there's another one that is coming also, a exam center. So we're not blowing our trumpet. We are telling people the work APC is doing in Ben. These works, they are everywhere. They are scattered everywhere. And we're not discriminatory in project positioning because I see the entire Bende as my constituency. I'm not saying, oh, because I'm from Bende Town, I'll be in Bende Town, I will not do that. No, that philosophy has gone. You know, if you are in charge, everybody's under you, every problem is your problem. Look at what we're doing in the back. I don't even want to mention that because we have discussed that, but the work has progressed. We are pushing them to push more so that, rain will not cut off.
All right.
We are also outside the back. Their brothers, that wanted 2.2 kilometers, they have gotten it, and the road have been cleared, and the work is going on. There. So,
all right.
This is the beauty of democracy, and this is the beauty of sending a man who grew up in the village. I grew up in the village. You understand? I did part of my studies in the village, and I understand the pain of my people. I know my seniors and how we are taught to reverence them and I followed them to the bushes, to the farms, to the streams. I followed them to all over, and I saw their pain. I experienced the pain, and that's why nobody needs to remind me about the problems of my people. I know them.
Yeah, all right.
I visit the places you don't even think of, and I can assure you that this is what Bende wanted, and this is what Bende got.
All right. People will like to speak to you because they are already calling. Let's have your thoughts on some of the issues we've discussed today on Ben Kalu's mandate. You can share your thoughts with us on 0808 182 6949 or 0811 605 2949. You can also drop messages on 0906 510 8289. It is Ben Kalu's mandate, the weekly engagement of Representative Benjamin Okezie Kalu with the good people of Abia State. 0808 182 6949 0811 605 2949. Hello. Good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning, Michael.
You're welcome. Good morning.
Yeah, this is Victor Ndoboka, and I'm calling from Amechi. Yes. I share Ben Carlos' idea concerning the role of women. They are very important. And if we look at the issues that were raised concerning the role of women in the Nigerian society, it dates back to 1961 during John McPherson administration when he created the Williamson Commission. The only way they tackled the issue of minority question was through a series of human rights that is embedded in the Constitution. So saying that you allocate certain seats for women, I begin to wonder, how can you get constituencies for women? The only way is to sensitize the women, because
all right.
Than men.
Okay.
Just sensitize them so that they can vote for each other when it comes to election.
All right. Thank you.
The other issue
quickly.
I want to look at, Mike, is the issue of political party arrangement in Nigeria. The political parties as it is arranged, there should be a uniform constitutional provision for all the political parties.
All right. Thank you very much. Let's allow others
in them, because all of them are operating
I appreciate
in the line.
you.
Thank you.
Hello. Good morning. Welcome to Ben Kalu's mandate.
Good morning, Mike.
You're welcome.
My name is Kalu. I'm calling from Ohafia local government. I appreciate the good work of Honorable Ben. What is the good representative of the people of Bende? Was Ohafia, the good road that is doing Ohafia Bende Road. I am happy that's a good representative from the people of Bende. Honorable Ben is being good. He's a good representative. I love his work. I love his representative. Because of that, I would have called since, but I've been trying. The line is not answering. But so much thank God that today I get you people. My wife delivered a new son baby. So I named him after his name, Ben. So, Ben, I named him Benjamin. Yes, his name is Benjamin. So I want him to come answer his namesake.
All right.
Okay?
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I hear that.
Hello, welcome.
Hello, thank you, Mike. Good morning, Mike, and good morning, my honorable. My name is Chief Ndegosio Wadineke. I'm calling you from Mba. Honorable, this morning I want you to kindly educate us on what to do as the March 26th National Convention of APC is coming. We are still not organized to know who will be members of the delegation to Abuja for the National Convention. I also want to congratulate you on that bill on the prison reform, the removal of prisons from exclusive from the federal to the state. I want to congratulate you. You're doing well. And I want to assure you that, despite the media department, your organization doing very well, that we are seeing what you are doing. We know the tractors want to cash in and come and scuttle your efforts there, especially in Mbahia. I know, and we know that they are trying to kind of discredit what you are doing. By complaining of the 2-point-something kilometer roads and all those writing petitions against you. But please don't be deterred, because the political equation for 2023 has been set, and you and nobody else, except you don't want to go back to Federal House. So whatever position you are looking for in politics, back will give it to you.
All right.
Block. Yes. So on the road, yes, we have the rains yesterday, and it's distorted some areas, especially around the Koli area. But I know your men in the field will do something. Thank you very much, my honorable.
Thank you very much for sharing your thoughts with us. Let's run through the messages. Honorable, is it not better to push for the prisons to be skillful and revenue-generating agent before taking it to concurrent list? That's coming from Kanu Zomba. Good morning, Mike. As a matter of fact, Honorable, good morning. As a matter of fact, your works are actually speaking for you in Bende, and everybody is happy talking about you down here. You're not a noisemaker, but action-driven man. Keep pushing for our God in heaven will keep preserving you. Thank you. That's coming from Nnamdi Ogidi. All right, let's have your thoughts on some of the reactions today on the program.
Yeah, Mike, I must say that I didn't hear all the things that my stakeholder, Ndubisi Wadneke, said. All the things he said, I didn't hear it. It was a bit noisy. Maybe you will summarize that at the right point. But the first caller made a good contribution with regards to women as well. And agrees with me that the issue of special seat is a little bit against the provisions of the Constitution. And he also suggested women should populate the parties and then decide who represents them from that platform. Not a bad idea. I still maintain that we could grant them other ones that they are looking for, like indigenship, like transfer of citizenship, which is supposed not to be attached to women only as well. And the affirmative action, we're looking at making it a general law that will be applicable, like you suggested, all the political parties. But I want to mention that Kalu from Ohafia. God, we thank you very much for naming your son Benjamin. Definitely, I'll come and do what I'm expected to do. Thank you very much. And other people who named their children Benjamin. Benjamin actually means the son of the right hand. You know, the one that stands in the place of favor and grace. You know, if you are on the right hand of anybody, the sign of power and the sign of grace and all the rest of them. So it's a good name. And God will bring goodness into your family for naming your child after me. The next is my brother, who is a loyal, participant, to this program. He made mention of the media group doing a good job in educating the people. Like I mentioned to you, they are doing a good job. They go extra mile to make sure they bring day-to-day information. Are we?
Yes. Our time is fast spent. We need to step out of the
studio. Your network delayed us. You know your network delayed us. You are silencing me now. Well, I put my answers to the next program next week. I'll answer most of the people who called in. Thank you for calling, and I appreciate all of you. And women, happy Women Day.
All right.
God bless all of you.
Thank you very much for joining us this week on Ben Kalu's Madu. We appreciate you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
No worries. Thank you very much. Bye.